my coworker buy him a drink. This is kind of mean, but I will say this. So I texted my coworker, who's very handsome. People enjoy him, and I was like, "Is there a salt and pepper haired man at the bar?" And he goes, "He's more salt these days." And I was like,
Little
because
more
I haven't
salt
seen
for
him
you.
more salt these days. I was like, man, if that's not putting some salt on that wound.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Two Stand Up Gals. I'm your co-host, Erica Spira.
And I'm Teresa DeGatano. I have a bit of a hoarse voice today, everybody. So we're taking it down a notch.
Yes.
T lost her voice on like Thursday to Friday. This is one thing. People are like, so how'd you lose your voice? I was like, how do you think I lost it? Talking. What do you think? Oh, are you doing too many shows? My good friend Brian Grassi. Oh, I was like, yeah, Brian. And I talk to people all day, every day. And we also have a podcast where it's just a lot of talking. And this is as best as I've sounded. But a lot of lemon, hot tea, and a little bit of a cold mixed in with that. A little bit of the cough, phlegm that everyone's having. I did buy some nose spray that my doctor recommended.
Oh.
And it was $53. I was like, oh, damn. And the pharmacist was like, it's actually $190. So your insurance took some off. And I was like, do I even need this? I walked out of there with the nose spray and I was like, there better be some Xanax. I guess it's supposed to help with the post-nasal drip, which is when you get the cough in the morning. But I was like, it better work. I see this is how people get addicted to nose spray. That was that Nate Bargatze bit. How is like him and his dad got addicted to like, no, maybe not him, but his dad did. Do you recall that one?
I do. Yeah. Oh damn. Well, I mean, I'm happy you're toughing it out for an episode because I was like, dude, if you really have no voice, we can't do an episode. Like we're gonna have to post something, just being like, hey guys, it's just me here. Sorry, you gotta wait a week, but which I feel bad because we actually have 2 little updates from our emails from last week.
Yes, let's
Thank
get
you very
to
much
them. Yes.
for the gals emailing us. So if you want to email us a confront or not or questions, again, the email is 2standupgals, GALS @gmail.com. 2standupgals @gmail.com.
Yes.
Email us your confront or not. So our gal here on the needing the third party point of view, okay, on the guy that kept coming back around, she sent a follow-up email immediately, okay?
Okay.
She said, hi, thank you so much for reading my email and giving your input. Hearing you guys laugh about my story honestly made me laugh. LOL. I love listening to you guys. So thank you. Thank you so much. She appreciated the humor. All right. So some clarity. This doesn't need to be read on the pod, but I just want it for your info. I am the one with the boat. So she has the boat. Okay. She has the boat. She says it sounds extravagant, but I live in Florida. I grew up on a boat. It's just kind of what we do here. Okay.
Love that life. Love a boat life. Love it.
I know. We love the life.
Our boat life is a Staten Island ferry.
Yeah, or the ferry to Rockaway Beach.
I do love the Rockaway Beach ferry. It's great.
So she comes to New York City pretty often. Would love to catch a show. So she says, also, I have decided to cut him out. I gave him the opportunity to have a conversation with me and explain to me what changed, and he never followed up. What a coward. Honestly, I know he will always be in love with me, but knows he is not able to give me what I want. Boys will be boys. Where can I find a good one? Girl, we would love to tell you because we're also looking.
Barking up the wrong tree on that one. Join the pod. No, I'm so happy. I don't want to say I don't know her name, but I'm so happy that she confronted him and asked what has changed. And I even love her response, which he will always be in love with me. And I love that. Just, yes, like it. I think that's the hard part is we always try. I say we, as I mean me, and to like internalize things. But sometimes people just, it's not, they can't give us what we want. And that's it. And they, coming back around. Good for you. I'm very proud of you. Good for you. And keep going on that boat. She needs to meet another guy with a boat as well. So their boats can get together just like a bigger boat and have a boat party.
Exactly. Boat party. She said, thank you guys for your input, feedback, and advice. Keep up the awesome work. And then she sent another email. Being like, wait, one last question.
Love it. Love it.
Do I send a please don't contact me text or just leave it?
Leave
Thank you
it.
so much.
Erica, I love your thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
She added it
Oh.
in.
What do you say,
I
Erica?
mean,
I say leave it.
I say just leave it. I think
Leave
this
it.
person keeps contacting. Just never respond. He knows. You asked him to explain, have a conversation. He left you on red there. We're done. We're done.
Yep.
I mean, I think I would only send it if they just they all of a sudden were constantly messaging. I'd be like, please stop contacting me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're done. Or I would straight up block. That's really my move. I just quietly block. Then they get the message.
Does she follow him on social media? I wonder. Are they like social media friends?
If you didn't, you should. That's where I'm like, block everywhere. That's at least be blocking on social media. That's that should be a given. But anyway, thank you so much for
good job. Real proud
for
of
the
that
email
one.
and the follow up here.
Because that's the guy that kept coming around. Now, did I mention this on the last one that I got the Happy Easter text?
You got a Happy Easter text
from the firefighter, the one that just keeps coming around with the text.
I think maybe you mentioned on Patreon. But
okay, not for the live peeps. Sorry everybody. Oh yeah, but the firefighter from 2017 to 2018 loves to just come back around with a happy text. Happy Easter, TD. Just coming in there. I'm like, I made a post about this on Instagram. Be like, I'll see you on Memorial Day. Sliding that one in there. But my birthday's
Memorial
first.
Day?
I don't know.
Memorial Day he's coming through?
Listen, he has come through on Valentine's Day. He actually came through on St. Patrick's Day. It was like, are you working Monday? And then I was like, what's Monday? And I was like, it's St. Patrick's Day. And I was like, let's just call him Mr. Holiday. Just
truly. I was going to say St. Patrick's Day is even a stretch, but I'm like, oh, I guess because you bartend then. That's more the reason. It's like, oh, I'll stop by the bar. But then does he even come through and come by the bar? Or is it even like, doesn't even follow through on that?
He came through on a Saturday in December, and I wasn't there because I just cover on the weekends. But he was like, oh, I'm here. And like, I had a boyfriend at the time. So I was like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, I don't work those days. It's like,
nice. I'm not there.
I'm not there, but I did have my coworker buy him a drink. This is kind of mean, but I will say this. So I texted my coworker, who's very handsome. People enjoy him. And I was like, is there a salt and pepper haired man at the bar? And he goes, he's more salt these days. And I was like, I haven't seen him more salt these days. I was like, man, if that's not putting some salt on that wound. And I was like, well, will you buy him a beer from me? I was like, he's going to a show down the block, and I guess he's there. So I was laughing about that. But do we have another follow-up? Do we have another to confront or not?
Oh, yes. Brief follow-up detail on the group chat message that was using the sticker that was the face.
This still makes me laugh. How she was in the bathtub with the iPad and the group chat came up. I mean, it did make me want to take a bath. I'm not going to lie. I was like, that really got me going.
So here's the follow-up. Details, okay? I promise the iPad, it didn't pull up the group chat window, but what happened was something happened where it pulled up all the windows. Like all of a sudden it was like, ooh, here's all 6 windows. And she was like, so I saw the group chat and obviously, of course, I saw my face in it. And she was like, what is my face? She said, so I had to go snoop. And she also clarified it wasn't like her fiance was only using the sticker. Everybody in the group chat was using the sticker because there was some confusion of like, are other people using the sticker or him? Who's using it? Everybody in the group chat, I guess was using it here. So who knows who made the sticker? I guess was a clarification some people were asking out there. But she said she talked to him and he was very kind about it. Very kind man, understood. But a good man. He's a good man, Savannah, as they say. Good man.
There might be a different sticker. See, that'd be funny if somebody redid the sticker. You know how we have jokes about people that we've dated, and like in our circles. I wonder, oh Lord, like what am I to certain people? It's like, oh, do they call the comedian? Are you still dating the comedian? Are you still like I've left things with good terms, basically, I think with everybody. But I do wonder if like their friends are like, oh, so and so, like You know,
Mm,
how, like, my friends have talked shit about my exes.
yeah, but it's interesting because men really don't talk too many details.
Yeah,
Like
that's
ever. And a
true.
thing she pointed out too is she said no other wives or girlfriends are stickers in this chat, which I'm like, that would make it an extra burn. And she said that all of these people live far away in addition to that. So she's like, I actually haven't like met these people.
Oh, she said met them?
Yeah, which I was like,
Wow.
oh, yeah, that's an extra sting, extra salt on the wound. So it's like, so the only version you've met me is you got our save the date to our wedding and have chosen to make me a sticker in a group chat where no other girlfriends and wives are stickers.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, these guys have too much time on their hands.
Truly, because you know what I saw recently? I've been binging some like Amy Poehler stuff because of like her new pod, and I'm a big fan, love her.
Mhm. Yeah.
I saw a quote of her recently, and she was saying this on the pod that like teasing in her family and her life is like a form of love. It's like you only tease people that you know and consider a friend because to really tease someone correctly and accurately shows that you really know them, right?
Mhm.
Like she said, manners are for like people you don't know. Like you're on your best behavior when it's like I don't know these people and like I'm not gonna like lightly roast someone that like I just met. Like I do that with my friends, my buddies.
Mhm.
So I especially understand, you know, this listener of ours feeling hurt because it's like, wait, we've never met. Like, you don't know me. Like, why am I getting roasted? Where it's like, oh, people I know, like to me, that's like, okay, like we've met, we're friends, and now we're on teasing territory. I'm like, that's kind of like I guess like a love language of like my family and my friends is like
Mhm.
it's almost like to be teased is like to be seen. Does that make sense? Like as people say
Well,
like, "Oh, I feel like they really see me." I'm like, when you hit a tease on me that's like you've really observed me and picked up one of my habits, I'm like, "Oh, I'm caught." You know? Like I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, they've caught me." You know, they've really observed me in my natural habitat.
Well, they know you. Like, that's the thing with roasts where, like, everyone kinda does, like, surface jabs, and so when I turned
Mm,
30, Regina DeChico and I, we had a joint birthday party, the birthday roast of the Double Ds at
yeah.
DeChico de Catano, and we had a uptown here that used to be, like I forget what the place was called, but we used to run our Girls Gone Funny shows there with, Katie Hayes and Jordan Karabik, Jordan Elizabeth, and, so we had a birthday roast and my old roommate Lisa listens to the podcast, got up there and roasted me and was a civilian, a non-comic. And I remember Akash Basim was the roast master and he was like, "Oh shit, this is real stuff because she lived with her. This is stuff she
Yeah.
does." And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, she was like, "T comes home late and she broke the sink the one night." I was like, "I did. I broke the sink. I vaulted myself off the sink." She's like, "She leaves her lunch meats out when she's drunk and she just comes home and eats like." I was like, "Yeah, I do. I do. I'm hungry." And so, but it was just very funny because she killed it. And
Mhm.
so when my friend Tanya had her birthday in January, there was way too many comics on that roast, by the way. And some people just wanted to get up and roast. And I was like, "But you don't even really know her that well. You're just making fun of her
Mm.
height." And I was like, "That's lame." But like I got in there with the jabs. But like everyone was laughing because they're like, "It is true. Tanya doesn't ever rub in her sunscreen. Never." And she's got globs of sunscreen all over. I'm like, "Tanya, rub that shit in, girl. It looks gross."
Yeah.
And stuff. But
Uh-huh.
just like, and so certain little things that like if you've traveled with her, that are very specific. And that's when like the gold happens. You're like, "Oh, that's a good one." Uh,
Exactly. A truly great roast joke is like it's taking something and you got to make it in a way that's like so even if I only know it, make it universal enough that everybody
mhm.
gets it. Yeah.
That you set it up like this is what the person does. Like, if you ever
Mhm.
travel with this person, blah, 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 or,
Yeah.
so.
It's the same with like a good wedding speech where
Oh
it's like it
gosh.
shows you know them and it hits in a character way or whatever, but you make it and you set it up in a way that it's like you let everybody else in on the information, the joke,
Mhm.
the whatever. A great speech though makes both sides feel like, "Oh, I really know them. Oh, I really got that. Oh, I understand." Yeah.
Can we talk about this? I'm gonna talk some shit real quick. Why is everyone giving a speech at the wedding? Like, I mean, the
Oh.
last wedding I went to, I love her very much, but like the groom's mom gave a speech, the dad, like everyone gave a speech, and I was like, "Yo, let's go. Let's start dancing. Like, this is a lot of speeches. It was like probably
How many
35 minutes
speeches?
worth of speeches.
What?
Well, it was a
35?
lot of speeches. And then I went to another wedding. It was my cousin's wedding. Okay. And the bride's father gave a speech. Is that a thing they're supposed to do? I thought that was like at the rehearsal dinner. But he talked for 20 minutes. I am not
Wait,
kidding you. 20
wait. I
minutes.
was going to say father of the bride is usually the one who speaks. It's usually father of the groom who doesn't. Or like they speak at rehearsal dinner.
Yet I didn't know any fathers of speaking anybody at weddings. I thought it was the maid of honor
Really?
and the groomsmen. Boom, boom. There's 2 speeches. We clap, 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 and then we get going. What is this where the parents are
Oh.
speaking? This is a
There's
new.
usually a brief toast by father of the bride at the weddings I go to. But
Okay, this was
overall,
20 minutes.
everybody's needs a time limit. 20 minutes of anybody speaking is way, way, way too long. in my
It was,
opinion.
and we hadn't even eaten yet. And I was like, someone give him the light. Like, I don't even know what you're saying. Like, you have been
Oh
going on and on. Anyways, we got to tighten
no.
it up. Tighten it up.
Yeah, I mean that's the comic in us. We're like, get to the punch.
I'm
Get to
like,
the
what are
punch.
we?
You didn't run this? You
Also,
didn't
just
run
the
this? You
human
didn't
being
time
in
this?
us. It's a State of the Union. It's a
Yeah.
it's a
Oh
big
man.
old bitty. Wait, so we had one more new confront or not. I feel like we got to find something to rhyme with confront. Confront
Yeah. Because
or
someone suggested confront or punt. And I was like,
confront or
like
punt. I like
like
that. Can we use
punt it
that?
down the
Punt it
road. I
down the
don't
line.
know.
Yeah, that's great. Confront or punt.
You want to do that? I don't know. I'm not married to it. I'm not gonna lie.
Confront or
Like I like that it rhymes, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if
yeah,
it's
because it's good. Confront
fully gets it
or
across.
walk away or confront or not. I know, but I like confront or punt. I actually really like that. Good job, caller.
Okay. All right. But anyway, reminder everyone, 2standupgals@gmail.com if you want to
Yes.
email into the show. Okay. So here's another one here. So this is a kind of a restaurant situation. All right. So love your opinion on this too. Okay. They say this is a silly one, but valid nonetheless. A friend and I went out to lunch the other week with the kid that I nanny. He's 3 years old. We went to a little Mexican restaurant, and the food was okay, subpar at best. So, for context, when we walked in, I asked if there was a kids menu because no kids options were listed on the main menu anywhere. The server told me that they didn't have any kids menus printed, but she had XYZ as options. I ordered the 3-year-old a kid's lemonade and then chose to get him the chicken and cheese quesadilla. What came out for him was 2 4-inch diameter tortillas with a sprinkle of cheese and about a tablespoon of shredded chicken in each. Then they were folded over like tacos. I had about a tablespoon of meat. Oh, okay. Sorry, it's worded a little weird. They gave him a side of fries and a small cup of lemonade, too. When the bill came, it said that his meal was $12 and his lemonade was $4. I was absolutely taken aback. I think this was absurd pricing for a 3-year-old's meal, and also they didn't have prices printed anywhere. Had I known it was going to be that expensive, I would have just shared something with him. The $12 meal was comparative to the prices of the adult meals.
Oh.
And them not telling me that the lemonade would be $4, I felt was a little insane.
Mhm.
I'd like to know what you guys would be doing in the situation. The 3 of us had lunch at 1 o'clock on a weekday, and our bill was $80, and we live in the Chicago suburbs, not even like a ritzy area. I did end up asking the server what that was all about. She claimed she called the manager and that the manager said there was nothing they could do. So we ended up leaving, and I wrote them an honest Google review about how the food was extremely subpar and I felt completely overpriced. I haven't heard anything back, and I doubt I will, but I just will not be returning to that place.
Mhm.
So, what do you think? Confront or nah?
Well, I
This
think
is an
she did
interesting.
confront.
I was
I
like, she
think
did
she did,
confront.
which is good because that's a very expensive. I mean, I don't have kids, but that's an expensive kids meal. And was the lemonade supposed to be included? I mean, they could
It
have taken
doesn't
the
sound
lemonade
like it
off.
because it's ordered separately.
Oh,
But I
that's
understand,
an
like a
expensive kids
kid-sized
meal.
lemonade. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's a pricey. Yeah, that's for what it was too. I'd be like, it just wasn't. Yeah, that's a full size quesadilla price. Also, Chicago suburbs. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because you know what? It's funny we get this email right now because I went to you ever heard of like Jersey Mike's?
oh
Now it's a
yeah.
chain like everywhere. But it started actually in Point Pleasant, the place I go down the shore. And I visited my friend, she's like Palm Springs area, California, beautiful. She's like, get me a mini, the smallest version of their
Oh.
sandwiches. So I order one, she gets one. They were $9 each, and I was like shocked. Where I was like, Jersey Mike's is $9 now for a mini, and I like have been eating this sub for years, and I just was like, wow, stuff really is just so expensive now, like everywhere, like crazy. So this email, it kind of is just timely that I've been thinking about that lately with like everything. I don't know. I'm surprised by this, but oddly at the same time, I'm not, just because I've been having sticker shock, I feel like, with everything lately, personally.
Sticker shock. Well, I think with the restaurant also, I'm surprised that the restaurant didn't take something off, or they need to have the kids' prices on there. The price for
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I get annoyed when you walk. I walked into a new place today in my neighborhood, and just to see what it was, it's a coffee shop, but they have sandwiches and bagels, and there's no prices. Put a price on
Oh,
there. Put a price on the big board that you
nowhere.
build. Put a price. Like, they should, that there's no prices for the kids menu is ridiculous. And I'm glad she confronted, and I'm glad she wrote the Google review, because the manager, here's the thing, that is poor decision making on the management's standpoint, because just comp half the kids meal, because you're going to leave with a satisfied customer. Now, because you don't want to comp the $6, you don't want to take off $6 or whatever it was,
Or the
take that
drink.
off, or the drink, take off that, be like, don't worry, we'll comp half of that for you. Now you have a bad review on there. Now you have, just eat it. Sometimes you just have to, that's
That's
part of,
interesting.
yeah. I
No,
actually,
I was very curious what your take was going to be on this, because I don't know if I would have had it in me to confront or complain about any of this, even though I would probably be shocked at like the size of the quesadilla and it's $12, because I would feel like her, where I'd be like, I would have just ordered an adult quesadilla, taken half of it
yeah,
home. Like if I'm
and
paying
split
close
it.
to the adult price and I had the smallest, tiniest thing, I would have been like, what? I would have just ordered the regular. Like what are
Yeah.
we doing?
What's the point of that? Well, I had two things, like, I guess, confront or punt, but I went to a place here in the city, and I got a coffee, and their coffees are small to begin with. And it was for, like, the large was medium. It was not big. And
Mm.
so I gave her like exact change that was the dollar. So it was like 4 and change. Now, I don't believe in necessarily tipping the barista unless I'm sitting there. I don't. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a cup of coffee with some milk, and I'm adding whatever. You're not really doing anything. I don't get why I'm tipping you. I stand very strongly. I've talked about this numerous times. So I gave her, and she goes, "Oh, do you want the dollar back?" Yeah, I did. Yeah. I just looked at her
Mm-hmm.
flat out. Yeah, I do want the dollar back. That's why I gave you the change. Like, and that's where I get a little, yeah, I might get stingy about it, but you're not doing anything, and your prices are very expensive for what you're serving. So this happened to me yesterday. I ordered from this restaurant in my neighborhood. I wanted Greek food. I really wanted like a Greek salad, like an authentic, like with all the vegetables cut up, the feta cheese, like
Yeah.
grape leaves. And when I ordered it through like Seamless and Grubhub are now the same. I didn't realize they got bought by this, I guess Grubhub bought Seamless, but there was no place for me to write no onions. So I called the restaurant. I was like, I just put in an order. They're like, oh, we have it. I was like, can you put no onions on that salad, please? They were like, sure. Food shows up, onions everywhere on the salad. And I was
Mm.
like, I'm going to call back. And so I did. I confronted, and I was like, hi, very nice. I ordered this salad and there's onions on it. And I said I was allergic. I'm not, but it's an $18 salad. And you have me one little
Uh.
small piece of feta. Like, you didn't, like, that's all the feta you gave me. Oh, yeah. And so
Mm.
the person on the phone was like, you did call. I'm so sorry. You called. Sorry about that. And I said, so what do we do?
That's a nice way of confronting and just like,
So
so
what are we gonna do
what
about
are we
this?
gonna do? You make it a
What
we?
what
What
are
are
we
we gonna do?
what are we
You don't
gonna do
mean
about
we,
this?
you mean you. You don't mean we.
What are we doing about this? Because that was an expensive salad, and I
Yeah.
walk by your place every single day almost. So the manager got on, and then they were like, we can just comp it off of Seamless. We'll just buy the salad back. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, it was
Oh,
fine.
all
But then
right.
Seamless called and was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, this is great. Like, and I felt good about it, because I was like, all right, like this, yeah, because now I got to pick through the salad for all the, anyways, I was glad I confronted. So, and stuff like that, I think it's fine. I think if anything happens in a restaurant when you're in person, do it in the restaurant. Like, if you have an issue with the service or the food or something, I like how the person who emailed confronted in the restaurant because they can take care of it there. They're supposed to take
True.
care of it there. Once you leave, it just kind of looks like passive aggressive. Like if someone didn't like something and says to me, I don't really like this, I'll be like, okay, like what can we, besides the fact if it's a beer, like because I work in beer, but it's kind of just like that's the way the beer tastes. Like, okay, but but if they don't like the food or something is, wrong, I handle that. Take care of it.
Because working in service, drinks usually are the thing that like restaurants make the most money on. So like to comp a drink would have been like the easiest thing for them to do. Whether it was the kids drink, the adult drink, something. Or even be like, we'll offer you a free this, whatever, is a nice classy
a
move
free
to
dessert or something.
But I agree with you where it's like if you say nothing in the restaurant and you just leaving like a scathing Google review, that's also not really fair to the restaurant where it's like you didn't even give us a chance
to make it right.
Person. Yeah.
Make it right. Do you have any confronts this week, Erica? Confront or
You know what? So I actually had a funny restaurant one that like we didn't do anything about. It was just a very odd moment when I was with my friend. This has never happened. We sat at a bar or some restaurant and we ordered like 2 little appetizers and some entree like to split. We're chatting, we're catching up, having a good time. And we're there probably for like 15, 20 minutes. We have our drinks. And then some woman sits down next to us. She orders something, whatever. And what's funny is I catch this woman definitely like listening to our conversation here and there. And like, who cares? I've done that plenty of times when I'm by myself. It's entertaining. So the server comes out with like the artichokes, the grilled artichokes, and like a ceviche dish that we order. So he comes out, he's holding it, and he's like, so I have the ceviche. This woman just goes, oh, the artichokes? I ordered the artichokes. I got the artichokes. And the server's looking at the plates and kind of looks at the woman because he's like, he clearly knows like the 2 plates are for the 2 of us. And so my friend's just like, oh, we also ordered the artichokes. And the ceviche. The whoever's bringing it wasn't like a main server. I think it was maybe a busboy. And he's a little frozen because he doesn't know what to do. The woman next to us doesn't go, oh, sorry. Oh, those must be yours. She's just like, yes, I got the artichokes.
You're like, it's 2 separate orders. It's your order isn't ready yet. Oh, Lord.
And me and my friend just are quiet and are just kind of waiting. Like, is she gonna realize that we're just like, oh, is this a dibs? Is this a I want it for, because we're kind of like, you know what? We're having a relaxing night. We're here to chat and catch up. If she just wants her food faster, she could just have ours. We'll get the second one. Like we're not in a rush. And the server just is like, yeah, like he just kind of quietly puts it down in front of us and this woman does not say anything. She's just kind of like looking at them and seems like mad that they put it in front of us.
Did she get there after you?
Very much after us. Like we already had our drinks. She didn't put in an order. That we're kind of like, lady, you know we were here. You've been also eavesdropping on our convo. Like we've clearly been here a minute. We're deep in the ketchup. You're getting the goss.
Deep in the ketchup.
Yeah, but it was such a weird thing that like I've kind of been in that scenario before where something happens and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, did I take your water? Like, be a human.
Yeah.
And then like 10 minutes later, her food comes, but this is what annoyed me. She had the artichokes and like got a side of rice, got a side of beans. And I said to my friend, I go, isn't that nuts that it's not like she just got the artichokes? She got a few other things that it's like, lady, don't you know how a restaurant works?
When did she join your dinner party? It's like she joined. It was like the 3 of you. I know the waiter's probably like, "Are you together? Are you not together? Or I'm just going to leave these here and I'm going to walk away." Because it sounds like she wanted to join the party. Like, "Oh, I'm here. I got the artichokes." Like, no, you're not with us.
But she also wasn't sitting right next to us. She was like a few seats down. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever witnessed. But it made me annoyed when I was like, "Girl, it wasn't like you just ordered the artichokes. You clearly could recognize it wasn't your full order." it'd be one thing if we both ordered the exact same
Mhm.
combination of dishes and it was like, oh, that's crazy. You got the same thing as me. My bad. I confused it. Like I've done that game in a restaurant where you're like, oh, that must be. And then it like whizzes by your table. You're like,
Yeah.
well, that's embarrassing. I got real excited for the food.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're excited to put the napkin on your lap. You're like, hell yeah. And it's not time. Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Like I've been that person. Trust me. But the zero acknowledgement was wild that my friend and I were like, what in the fuck? Like she got more than one thing. How did you not?
Yeah,
It
that was
was yeah, the
that's
lack
weird. I don't even have an answer to that. That's some odd
it
behavior where you're
yeah.
like, okay. Like you just I love how the waiter was just like, I'm out. I don't know. They can figure it
Yeah.
out. They can duel over these artichokes. I almost confronted an older gentleman today at CVS at the pharmacy. He was talking on speaker. Well, the other person wasn't on speaker, but he had the phone like this and was
Oh.
talking so loud
Oh god.
and was like, "So are you going to get turkey or what are you going to get for dinner?" And had this whole conversation. And I just kept looking at him. And I said to the pharmacist, "Do you want me to say something?" Because I was just like, "Oh my gosh." Like, luckily the line moved very quickly. And I'm glad I didn't say anything because then like 2 blocks over, I stopped at like to get my salad and then he was walking by and I was like, "Oh, thank gosh, that would have been really bad if I would have been like, "Sir, you're in public. You're so loud." Like
Yeah.
no one needs to hear the whole conversation. My sister Maria and I laugh about the waiting room DJ, the subway DJ. Put your
Oh my
headphones
god.
in. No one needs to hear all your stuff. Okay? Like get some earbuds and no one wants to listen to all your music and your selection or your FaceTime conversation. I don't
It's
like
so weird.
FaceTime. We were talking about this before. Like FaceTime, like that segue. FaceTime, like I feel like it's someone ringing your doorbell and you're not expecting. And you're like, "Oh gosh, you can see me." Like it's very sudden and
Yeah.
I'm not prepared. I got
That
FaceTime
is funny.
yesterday
That is
and
the
I was
new
like,
version of a doorbell.
yeah. It's like bring it's FaceTime and you're like, "No." Like I can't. Um this did happen to me. This happened to me Friday night. Big dismount. I was here in my apartment having my midnight snack, as I do, and resting my voice. And I heard this really loud buzz. And I was like, is that the fire alarm? So the fire alarm was going off on my roof. Now I'm on the top floor. And I was like, I opened my door and I was like, oh, that's the fire alarm. And I went up to see if there was a fire. I mean, is that what you're supposed to do? I don't
What?
think so. Well,
To the roof?
yeah, it was going off like the door to the roof. So we have a finished roof. I have a finished roof, but you're not supposed to be up there. But like I'll bring my chair up there and sit in the summer. And the door is open. You're allowed to you're not supposed to actually. But I was like, someone set off the fire alarm by opening the door. But I heard the fire alarm and thought, is there a fire? So I texted my super, hey, the fire alarm is going off on the roof. It's like 12:15. He doesn't respond. And I'm like, well, I guess I should call 911. So I did. They showed up right away. So I put my fanny
Mhm.
pack on and my flip-flops. And I was like, well, I don't want to use the elevator in case there is some sort of fire happening. And
Yeah.
so but they took the elevator. The firefighters took the elevator right up to the roof, which I was
Sorry.
I was like,
Sorry. That is like I'm sorry, what?
and yeah, and I didn't really have a voice Friday. So I was like, yeah, hi, I'm the one who called. Like just me.
And they're like, were you
So
smoking on the roof, man?
sound like and it looks like it was me on the roof. That's how this whole thing looks, and it was not. And so, they were like, "Yeah, it's just the fire alarm got tripped up, but your super needs to come and use the key to turn off the fire alarm." So there was nothing they could do. So they left. And so I'm standing, I called my super then and I was like, "Hey, the fire alarm's going off on the roof. I called 911, but they can't do anything. You have to come and key the alarm off." So there's a grown man on my floor. He's like, I'm just visiting, but I heard the fire alarm, but I was dozing off to Sopranos. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I called. He's like, so do I. So did I. So there's another young guy and he's like, this might be an odd question. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. But he goes, do you happen to work at such and such? And I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, I saw you there once. And I was like, well, that's kind of crazy that
Oh.
the guy who lives 2 doors down went to the bar I work at. I thought he was going to say he recognized me from stand up, but no.
I mean, also possible.
But it was funny. So then then my super called the next day and was like, "Did I happen to see anyone come off the roof?" I was like, "No. I was in my kitchen having a midnight snack. I did not happen to see anybody leave." But then I went to go lay out today on my chair and I had to do some reading and it's locked. I was like, "Oh, man." But I'm like, "Should I be concerned someone was trying to like break in my building?" Also, next door is Crazy Barbara, and she yells out in the night. And I was like, where the fuck is Barbara right now? I need Barbara to wake
Yeah.
up. Okay. She's the one always yelling out. "Rah!" And I'm like, she's the one who used my internet for like 2 years. That's a story for
That was
another
insane.
time.
That's
That's a crazy
insane.
story. But I was like sitting there and I was like texting with this new guy from Hinge. And I was like, well, I got a little bit of an issue. I really need Crazy Barbara to wake up. And I was texting with Regina because I was like, I need her to handle the situation. But I don't know. She must have taken an Ambien because the bitch was knocked out. But don't you know, in
Yeah.
the morning, she was slamming that door 5 times as she does with her OCD. And I was like, damn it, Barbara, damn it. I was like, man. So, goodness. But I was like,
Where's
oh, yeah, I had
Barbara
to
when you
call the
need her?
fire. But I know. I was
Where's
like, where's Barbara? Man, goodness. And I'm surprised I didn't wake her up because it was so loud on our floor. And I was like, I can't sleep with this. I was just trying to watch the end of White Lotus, which I finally did. So
There you go, too.
2 weeks behind, Erica.
Got
2
him.
weeks behind.
A hectic week for all.
It's been a busy week. It's warm here in New York. It's like it is quite beautiful.
And I'm about to be back. It'll be interesting.
Oh my God, we're excited to have you back, Erica. We're gonna change the
excited to be
the Empire
home.
State Building to your colors. And you've got your birthday
Yeah,
coming up on
I
May
do.
6th, everybody. May 6th is Erica's birthday.
Birthday.
Tuesday, May 6th.
Exactly.
So, are you stressing?
Not stressing. I do get a little. I just get like a little reflective. Not gonna lie, a little sad on my birthday sometimes.
It's okay.
But I'm excited to. I mean, that's partly why I was like, let me come back a little early for my birthday because my cousin's wedding. It's also coming up, so I was like, you know what? I'll book a little extra days to come.
Good. And
have to
treat
celebrate
yourself
my
to
birthday
something
with
nice.
my New York friends, and so I'm
I know
excited
if
for
we're
that.
going out. If we're going out, also you got to figure out what thirst trap you're going to post for your birthday. Another year around the sun. Here's my titties.
Okay,
And-
that's not. You know, I'm not doing that. That's not my move. That's your move too. All right. You should get on
well,
OnlyFans
everybody,
too.
I'm gonna drink some more hot tea. Hot Tea's gonna drink some more hot tea. Thanks for listening. Email
Yes.
us if you have some confronts or puns. Erica's not married to the name, but I'm gonna.
I'm
use
not.
it.
I know you keep saying it, and I'm like, I didn't agree to this.
I know. I'm
There was
I'm
one
trying to make
suggestion.
fetch happen. All right, I'm trying to make the fetch
No.
happen. Confront or pun. No.
Or let us know what you think of the name. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do standupgals@gmail.com. And
Thanks for
stay
listening.
tuned.
Follow us on the socials. Follow the pod on the socials. We're gonna have some reels coming out. It's gonna be real.
Yeah, stay tuned for the Patreon preview coming up next. Join the Patreon.
Patreon preview.
Sports Pop. Bye.
Bye. So how was the week, Eric? I feel like you got some updates.
Oh yeah, I got a handful. I'm like, where do I start? Yeah, I guess we'll rip the Band-Aid off. I did finally see the roommate. And I was like, yeah, we gotta officially end this one here. And I was even like, upon the start of whatever hang, I was in that like, how do I bring this up? How do I get into this? Because the last couple times I have seen him, it's kind of in general felt like I feel like I'm just going through the motions a bit. And then even on his end, I was being like, are you also like, am I crazy or do you feel this way? Because I don't get much emotion feeling from him. And I don't know if that's a personality thing or it's like, am I reading it correctly? Like, are we both just kind of in a place that's like, this is just nice to have somebody to spend time with, I guess? Because I said I was like, I do like care about you and like, but I'm kind of questioning like, are we both just in, I don't know, a spot right now that we kind of was like, oh, this is like nice to just have somebody to be like doing things with and like we enjoy each other's company. We have a nice time, but we're both not like, oh, particularly excited and particularly I really like this person, and have that, like, wow, I can't wait to like share this with this person. But like, yeah, it is
Mhm.
nice to have someone to cuddle with, go out, have a meal with, like, and just enjoy this
Companionship.
company in that way. Yeah,
Mhm.
companionship, honestly, yeah.
Mhm.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode and get extra episodes every week, join the Patreon, which is patreon.com/2standupgals. Or you can also now join from the Apple Podcast app, right from your phone. You'll also get ad-free episodes of the public podcast, in addition to the extra episodes every week. So to join, go to patreon.com/2standupgals.